Looking forward to Easter.
Yeah, I think we all are, especially with the weather out there today. It looks really good, doesn't it?
Does it?
Good prospect. Yeah.
But chilly during the night.
Yeah. I think it's going to get to 4 degrees tonight. The weather says so.
Ooh.
So I think the summer jammies might be getting put away now.
I reckon. Are you up to Waihi Beach?
Yes, yeah, go out first thing in the morning.
Good on you.
Yeah, the roads will be busy this weekend, I would think.
Yeah,
True.
Be busy this afternoon, I think, Maxine, with school holidays starting too.
True. Yeah, we always travel through Auckland north, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah, I bet.
Transmission Gully going to get its first big test this weekend.
Yeah.
I suppose.
True. A road of what? National significance and extraordinary cost.
We need a lot more roads, Maxine?
Yep, to carry all those buses.
We might have got Southern Links if it hadn't been for Transmission Gully.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, right.
It's looking quite good out at Tamahiri now. We went to, where did we go? We went somewhere out there on the weekend, and the new roading network starting to take a bit of shape now.
Yeah. Exciting.
Morena mea Paula.
Morena, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Oh, brilliant. Sorry, that took a bit long with the Microsoft wheel going round and round, just this way it is sometimes with technology. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Well, we've got a biggish day, so we'll get through everything as quickly as we can, because I think there's more substantive conversation is probably in the next couple of items as opposed to this particular meeting. But welcome, everyone. If anybody would like to do a karakia, you're welcome to do it. I'm not quite prepared for that. Sorry. Ryan, have you got one up your sleeve? Oh, I'm sorry. I always put you on the spot. You're mute, but
I was just saying it's Mark there. I know he's been working on his
yeah, Mark, where are? No, he's not there. He's not here.
We have Mark and apologies today.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can kick off with a whakatauki. Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga. Ki mā kina ki uta, ki mā taratara ki tai. E hei ake ana te atakura, he tio, he huka, he hauhu, te hei Māori ora.
Ryan, thank you very much for doing that this morning. I'm just waiting for my diligent to open up. So it's got this please wait sign going like this. Amy, here it comes. All right, so we confirmed, I had a look at it last night, so confirm that the agenda, I'll take apologies. Are there any apologies, please?
So Councillor Mark Bunting
Councillor
and
Mark
Councillor
Bunting.
O'Leary are in apology.
Okay, somebody move that the apologies be accepted, please. Deputy Mayor Taylor, Maxine, all in favour, opposed, carried, thanks. Come on, open up. Right, the agenda is confirmed. So I'll move to confirmation of the agenda.
Is there a run sheet somewhere for this?
It should be at the front of the agenda. There's only 2 items, one in public.
Thank you.
We'll email around the agenda right now. The run sheet right now.
Cool. I'm trying to still open up the diligent, Amy. It's I've got into the choice. Oh, here we go. Now we're clicking. Okay. So the main thing in the open meeting today is are there any conflicts of interest? That being the main item is just the Comeback City campaign. So I would imagine there aren't any conflicts of interest, but I've called for them anyway. There being none, we will go straight to the item, which is item 5, which is the comeback Central City Comeback campaign. That's a good bit of alliteration there. Who's going to lead this off? Is it you, Tilly?
I'll speak to that, Your Worship.
Thank you, Sean.
Yes, look, I'll be brief, hopefully. Basically, this is coming to the full council meeting because of the timing of the comeback campaign and the need for the action on this that was determined out of the last Economic Development Committee meeting to action this quickly because of the timeframes that we want to get moving to encourage people to come back into the central city area. And we would just want to take the opportunity of this meeting to actually have the report back on the campaign, the details of what's coming up and happening, and it's ready for you to receive. Some of you will have noticed a little bit of action already through media stories that's been appearing in the Waikato Times. There's another one that's appeared this morning. And we're really kicking off and getting ready for a major launch action by the Hamilton Central Business Association with our financial support from some surpluses or underspends from the event sponsorship fund. So this is ready for your information, so you've got awareness and know that
Thank you.
It's been requested is happening.
Thank you. I'll be more than delighted to move this, and Deputy Mayor wants to second, I believe. All right. Just in terms of that, just making the comment that you made, Sean, HCBA have really, really worked so hard. I commend them, and thank you to the councillors who had an oversight of it in the end to make sure that it met our needs. So you, other councillors can certainly direct questions to those if you like, who've had a good close look at it. And Tilly, thank you for your work. And I know that Vanessa has done a phenomenal, and her team have done a phenomenal job getting so much buy-in to this event. There's a lot of enthusiasm, so there'll be lots of chances for councillors to get in amongst it and support it as we go through. Questions? Councillor Pascoe.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Paula. Just a question. I assume that the 85,000 that's required is the unspent portion of the 100,000 that we give to HCBA each year. HCBA each year to do this activation program.
No, this is not. This is a separate amount of money that's quite separate to the activation program. This is money that has not been spent through the event sponsorship fund as a result of a number of events having been cancelled, and therefore we haven't had to pay over the full sponsorship amounts that we had originally planned. At the time of the conversation with HCBA at the Economic Development Committee, we had a rough estimate of between 85 and 100,000 surplus. We still don't know exactly which, but we have been working on the basis of 85. But it is from the event sponsorship fund, not from the HCBA activation fund, which is actually being used as a part of their contributions to this overall campaign.
Okay, so does the 85,000 then include the extra funding that we initially provided for the Gardens Festival, which I understand was either returned to us or not paid in the first instance?
It does not include that amount, and that amount was not paid in the first instance. We're actually getting some further monies back from the Hamilton Gardens Arts Festival as a part of their wrap up from having to cancel the event as on top of that. So that 40,000 was never paid out. And it's not
so the 85,000 is already budgeted for in the long-term plan, so it's not seeking additional funding at all.
It's not incremental, and I expect we'll still have a small surplus.
Okay, and just one last question, Mayor Paula. In terms of a budget for this, are there other funders? I mean, I know HCBA, you've mentioned in the report, is also contributing from its core funding and presumably from this activation fund that we've already given them. But are there other participants, such as, as retailers, developers and city landlords who are contributing as part of this to to reactivate the city?
Yes, there are, and the value is probably around a third of the total campaign. If you look at the attachment, which has the outline of the general activities that the campaign is going to include, you'll see an awful lot of contribution and in-kind support from other parties, including retailers, some hospitality providers, both Stuff and MediaWorks, and so forth. So yes, Vanessa's been able to get quite a bit of contribution, mostly in kind and of valued product towards the campaign. And I think that's the first time I've seen that happen.
Great, and that's your suggestion is that the activation campaign's around about 240,000, and we're contributing about a third of that.
Roughly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Mayor Paula.
Thanks, Rob. Councillor Hamilton.
Thanks, Chair. Couple of quick questions, Sean. The contingency amount at the back end for 14,000. If that's not required, will that come back to the fund?
Yes, it will.
Fantastic. And I did have one other question, but I've forgotten it.
It'll come back to you. There you go, Sarah. Happens to everybody. That I've forgotten the question thing. All right. Any other questions, councillors? No.
I remembered it now.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Just a straightforward question, Sean. In terms of accountability, obviously, if there's any variation to the contract, or will there be an accountability report back through to the ED committee?
Yes, I should have included that in my introduction. At the next Economic Development Committee, HCBA or Vanessa will be reporting back to you on both progress on the campaign and an outline of expenditures for the campaign. So yes, there will be reports back.
Cool, fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Maxine.
Thank you. Excellent set of activities that are due to take place. I noticed a little bit of detail on number 15, O Week. There is a cost relating to the hireage of buses, etc., to be able to get students about or home again. Just this week, we were presented by the Regional Council regarding the FlexiBus service. Is that something that's been considered to be used as a part of that offering? It's on page 13. Yeah.
Yes. Look, the HCBA are actually still in discussion with the Regional Council and the University on the matter of the buses. It's just for planning purposes and budgeting purposes they made that provision, because they are still having a bit of a conversation with the Regional Council about their support for the campaign itself. So it is a provision while they bed down the fine detail.
Thank you. And that detail will come back to us through economic development with all of these updates in it. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. No more questions? All right. It was being moved and it's been seconded, so we'll go into any debate if there is any. Oh, sorry, Jeff, I didn't see your message, but we did that anyway. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just start off as the mover. Look, this is excellent. We've all been through a very hard time, hospitality and retail together, and the CBD have taken a really hard hit during COVID times. And the exciting thing is we're seeing really good signs of rejuvenation and life starting to seep back into the CBD. It can't just, of course, be on the weekends. It has to now start being during the week. So I'll just make that point that we do need to still keep working on some other aspects to support hospitality, like returning workers to the CBD once we're over this peak of Omicron. But look, I just want to say a big vote of thanks to the team that put it together. Tilly does such a great job working with the CBD stakeholders. Vanessa's a dynamo, and her team are just so incredible, running around getting the amount of support that they've got for this. If everything goes successfully as they plan it to be, it's a pretty awesome run of events for the CBD, the likes of which we haven't seen probably in over 3 years. So what's not to be happy about? So big thanks to them, big thanks to everyone involved, and to my colleagues who took the time to have a look and give them feedback on their proposals. Thank you very much. I can't remember all of you who were on that, but I do thank you for taking the time to do that on our behalf. Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Paula. And look, first of all, I want to commend and thank Deputy CEO Sean Murray for the proactive role he's taken with this campaign. He's taken a strong role from the outset. He recognised the need, seen an opportunity to help. So thank you, Sean. And of course, HCBA, Vanessa Williams, as Paula referred to, she's been like a Energizer Bunny in her successful efforts to generate support for this. And we're all too aware of the unprecedented freeze our central city and other central cities have undergone since COVID arrived at our shores. And I guess, through a mixture of COVID restrictions, sickness, fear of getting sick, and emptying out of office workers from the central city, it's been abandoned in a sense. And the Central City Comeback campaign, I think, is a holistic effort, which it needs to be right across many areas. Can't just be events. So there's events, there's media, there's sponsorships, there's special offers. And it's about saying to Hamiltonians, welcome back to the Central City. It's been a while, to give our beleaguered Central City a boost as they try to come out of this nightmare that has enveloped the country in recent years. Now's the time to start being optimistic again. And I certainly felt that sitting out in the cafe this morning in the sun. Now's the time for hope, and now's the time for recovery. And to me, this comeback campaign is really well timed, and it's got a feel-good aspect that I just love, and optimism. So this is a moment where I think as a council, I hope we can work alongside HCBA, Waikato Times, Media Works, and other stakeholders and say, this is the heart of our city. We care about it, and let's all help out. So once again, thank you, Sean in particular, and I'm really wholeheartedly behind this campaign. Thanks, Mayor Paula.
Thank you. I understand there's some people in the chamber, I'm not sure who is there. So Amy, you'll have to help me out with that. So I'll take Ryan and then I'll go to the chamber. Who's ever first out of that lot, please?
Thanks. Yeah, look, well said, Jeff and Mayor Paula. Totally agree. I think HCBA has been sort of circa 13 years, I think, almost going now, and this is the opportunity where they can really stand up and really add value to the bid payers and help stimulate the CBD in conjunction with this bit of funding. A great initiative, Sean. So thank you for that. But yeah, really excited and totally agree with Jeff's comments around the program. It's not just one-dimensional. It's multi-pronged. It's over 3 to 4 months. It's holistic. It's collaborative. So I think this is certainly the right thing to do, and look forward to seeing some of those stats trickle through in the next few months in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Amy, who do I have in the chamber, please?
Councillor Wilson.
Councillor Wilson, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Paula. As I had my early morning walk this morning from the Central City, I stumbled across one of our great little Vietnamese restaurants that had its windows smashed in. And this was at 6:30 in the morning, and I was thinking to myself, gosh, they've had to battle the trauma of COVID. They've had to battle the lockdowns and obviously the removal of people from the Central City, and they were hammered by vandalism. As I walked to the chamber today, I saw a revitalisation. There were people in Garden Place. I recognised Vanessa, who was sitting at a table passionately engaging with somebody and doing her job. And I'm excited at the opportunity to support an initiative to send a clear signal that we're back and open for business, and that the Central City is available. And I hope this will encourage more firms to encourage their staff to come back. I'm reminded it will be a team effort. And I'm heartened by the fact that, I guess this is when you really celebrate the fact you've got a local paper and local media who are happy to jump in behind it because, they know this is important. A big thanks to Sean and Tilly, but a real big thanks to Vanessa and HCBA. It is important. We have an amazing city. We need to celebrate that. I think we all need to do our very best to spend money at the local cafe and support the restaurants. So fully support it.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Mayor Paula. This is a fantastic initiative, so I do want to thank everyone who has been involved in putting this together, Vanessa, and also to Sean for it sounds like you played a really big leadership role in this. It is a fantastic use of leftover funds from the event fund, and there is an amazing mix of events, public art and promotion. So I think people are going to be really excited about this campaign. After months of being on Zoom, I think people are craving personal connection with one another and also just really keen to get out and about. So the Central City, I've seen it more life. I've seen it coming to life slowly, but I think this will really accelerate that. And what really stood out to me was the collaboration that's happened to bring this together. We've really seen local businesses, people coming together to really ensure the success of the Central City. So I felt just excited to see collaboration when looking through the list of events and other things. So thank you.
Thanks. Councillor Pascoe.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor Paula. And look, a lot of good things have already been said. The word that runs through my mind is partnership, that here we've got not just council and council staff who are very, very competent in their roles, but also HCBA and the city retailers themselves. And I think what we tend to get out of those kinds of actions, we tend to get activities that the city wants rather than what council thinks the city might need. I think this is more than just a spend of leftover funds. I think there's a good case here that the spend is based on need and there are potentially good outcomes. One area that does concern me a little though is that the focus tends to be, and regularly so, on the Central City, and we forget about the suburbs and some of the things that are happening out there. And in the area where I live, there are two shopping centres that have largely become shopping centres during the lockdown, one at Borman Road and the other one at the village, at the Rototuna village. And there are hospos and small mum and dad businesses in those areas. So I think we need to also be careful that we don't just focus on one area of the city and put all our financial resources and energies into that. We need also to be cognizant of the fact that there are businesses, small businesses that need similar support. And I think at times maybe they do get overlooked. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said, Councillor Naidu-Rofe.
Thank you. Again, I just want to reiterate what's been said in terms of thanking the staff, thanking the team, thank you to Vanessa. Like everyone said, it's a massive collaboration. 96K in donations is huge post-COVID. And I think that it's really important that we recognize that, especially from businesses who have suffered tremendously through the lockdown over the last couple of years. You know, it's quite, what's the word? Is it heartwarming to see all these businesses come together to support this initiative, to drive people back into our city. one thing that we can't help is the timing of this in terms of coming out of lockdown and moving into orange, but also coming into winter. So I think I'm a little bit nervous because there's still a lot of bugs out there and people are still a bit hesitant. But if anything's going to push them out back into the city, it would be a campaign like this. I'd be interested to see the results, the outcomes, to see because there's so much happening. I'd love to see which ones are the most successful and which ones draw in the most crowds and get the most engagement online, so that we can copy it later, come summer if we needed to. But yeah, I'm hopeful that this campaign will get us back on track in our city. It's a mixed basket. There's so many different things happening in here, and you can tell it's just this explosion of ideas of just trying to do everything possible, and targeting different groups in terms of families, businesses, and pretty much everyone. So I really hope that it's a successful campaign. So thank you to HPCA, thank you, Sean, and thank you, team. Looking forward to getting to as many events as possible.
Thank you so much, Maxine.
Look, thank you. This is, as others have already mentioned, a real credit to Vanessa and Hamilton City Council staff and businesses all working together. It's a great example of a partnership for the betterment of all, and also a really good example of recycling. We've had funds that we've been unable to use in our plan already, that we've planned on spending and now can, and with the very best of events coming up. I see the huge list of things that are intended to be delivered: music, art, entertainment, hospitality, involving students, workers, city goers, city livers, and a whole mixture of both indoor and outdoor activities. And that's a really fantastic way to be able to really bring the energy back into our city and back to our communities as well. Being shut indoors, doing business on Zoom has got a limited lifespan, and I'm, for one, looking forward to getting back out into the community full time to see what's happening around. And to be able to plan to go to those events will be something that's definitely high on my list of things to do. We've also got some flexibility in there to be able to pick up on opportunities that come up through the campaign, and that's a really great way to be able to do it. I also see that it's not just a party for a party's sake. There's some really great tagged things in there around events that are happening in Matariki, also Easter weekend, and that's doubly useful in being able to give people the opportunity to get out and see it all. Everybody's got a stake in the initiatives, and it's up to all of us and the city. I, for one, just don't want anybody to not be aware of what's happening. So I'll be looking forward to finding some resources to share online where I can, to be able to encourage others to get out and enjoy being out in Hamilton again. And I'm looking forward to the ongoing reporting through our ED committee. And my last message for Vanessa is, your plan's ready, you've got it out there, you're starting to get some media around it. Your job has only just begun. There's an awful lot more to do to pull this one off, and I, for one, am right behind you. Cheers.
Thank you. Martin.
Extremely briefly, I was captured by Ewan's walk into the city chamber this morning, and just what he observed, and obviously big huge compliments to Vanessa and her team and the council staff team. And as we know, the Vanessa and the HCBA have always been massively professional, massively positive, and I think we're blessed to have such an incredible outfit with her and her team and also our staff. I do also acknowledge Rob's point around just being crystally aware of the challenges that businesses in other parts of our city are facing, particularly in the hospital area, and I know we are, but look, just great, many claps, and also the collaboration is the massive collaboration that I'm seeing is just exciting and is impressive, and to have our media outlets involved as well is excellent.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I won't really exercise a right to reply.
And we have Councillor Donovan in the chamber.
Oh, apologies. Look, he's waving. I see him. Thank you, Mark.
That's okay. I'm one of the you lot that are in the chamber, so thank you for noticing my frantic waving. I just want to start by saying thank you to the staff and Vanessa and her team at HCBA as well. A lot of really good stuff's already been said, so I won't add too much more. But I spent some time as a CBD commercial real estate specialist several years ago, and it was during that time that I almost packed up and decided to leave Hamilton because I was so disheartened by the way the city had gone. And you know, there's a belief that shared amongst a lot of people that a thriving and high energy CBD will always be the soul of a good city. And I'm starting to now see some of that stuff come back. I can see it in this plan. The plan looks really good, but one of my mentors used to say to me, I'm going to give you 10 points, Mark. I'm going to give you 1 point for your plan and 9 points for your execution. So we can see this plan on paper that looks really, really good, and there are some early signs that there's some things happening, but I really want to see this. I want to be sitting here in 6 to 8 months' time and having knocked on doors and people not say to me, oh, I don't go to the CBD anymore because it's crappy, or I feel unsafe. I want to be knocking on doors when we're out campaigning for our election, and I want to hear people say, isn't it great to see the CBD back to some of its former glory? So I'm all for it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I won't exercise right reply, but just to say 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 to HCBA and everybody's worked on this project. Bring it on, and look forward to going downtown. Oh no, I almost had a Miranda moment then. I was going to sing, you know how Miranda has songs in her mind? And that song, Downtown, came to mind. It's Petula Clark, wasn't it? Petula Clark. I won't sing it though, but I'm really happy about this event. Thanks, Council.
The one by Macklemore's better.
Is it? That might have been better to listen to too, Mark. Oh, I've got to stop having these Miranda moments. All right, thank you, everyone. That brings us to the end of this particular open part of the meeting, and we'll just take a few moments to
Could we just vote on that matter, please?
We so could just vote. See, I was distracted by wanting to sing. It's the joy of having a long holiday coming up for us all, isn't it? All in favour. It's been moved. It's been seconded. All in favour, please raise your hand or put your little tick up, or either or. Thanks.
The motion is carried unanimously.
Worst thing is I'm going to have that song stuck in my head all day now. All right, see you in public excluded in a few minutes.
Could we just also vote on that one, move and second it to move into public excluded, please?
I'll move.
Second.
And Councillor Wilson is seconding from the chamber.
Thanks, all in favour.
Thank you. The motion is carried unanimously.
Thank you so much, everyone.